today we're going through the test review. Here is your first question. I'm going to say it again. These questions are taken directly off of your test. So when you get your test on Friday or Monday, depending if you're in A or B day, the first question is going to say, you created a new playlist. Those are going to be the very first words. And the number will probably be different. If this number is not different, then this number will be. Okay? So one of these two numbers is going to be different when you get your actual test. So don't let that throw you off. The question, though, is going to be the same. And the question is, do Nadi and Dylan agree? You do also have this, prove your answer using the value of ratios. So what are we talking about? Writing your ratios. You'll notice I started with Nadi's ratio. She said 66 to 33. Likes to not likes. I used variables. Remember, anytime we use variables, we must identify our variables, correct? So guess what happens if I use variables but don't identify them? It would be minus 1/2. You're going to lose points for not identifying your variables. Make sense? Any questions on that? Okay? On Dylan had said it was 3-to-1, so I just wrote his. But I also identified the relationship. So if we're asking about the relationship, which you really should get used to doing both, then it's down there. Was Nadi's in simplest form? No. So I simplified, it went down to 2-to-1. 2-to-1 is not the same as 3-to-1, is it? No. So do they agree? No. So that's what we said. When we're answering the values of ratios, the values of ratios say, do they simplify to the same terms? No, they don't. So they don't agree. Does that make sense? Make sure you're answering a full sentence, correct? Okay, next one. This one, now this is extended family, staying at the weight. Force out the flour of your pancakes. Notice, write a ratio, show the relationship. We need to do both, correct? It's in the directions. The ratio, 4 to 16, I can simplify to 1 to 4. You're wrong. You didn't simplify all the way. So 8 can both be divided by 2. Relationship. I did variables again, but I again identified my variables. F is cups of flour, P is pancakes. Okay? Do I need to do anything else on that one?
Simplify it.
I did simplify it. That's why I have 1 to 4. Okay? Part B on this one. You'll notice we even added a hint, and that hint is also on your test. Funny thing. Writing an equation is so easy it should make you smile and not lean back in your chair, right, John? Because we don't want to irritate Mr. Moore. That's not good. So when we simplify, or when we do our ratio, that's why I did this little table right here to make it easier for you. Do I have to do that? No. You could literally do it from here, because it's the same thing. Just understand that's flour pancakes. But so you actually make you smile. Wherever I start, I'm just going to follow the other way. So F equals, the first number is a 1, over the second number is a 4, times the other variable, P. It said, how many equations? 2. That is directly off your test. So you'll need to be able to go the other way as well. So starting at the P, all I do, guys, is reverse it. P equals, first number is a 4, second number is a 1, times F. Is 4 over 1 in simplest form? No, that's why we rewrite it as 4F. Okay? Second part of this, now they've given me a number. The number on your test will be different. And it may say she has this many cups of flour, how many pancakes can she make? So just be aware, it's going to be different. Understand how to use it. So once I've identified what I'm solving for, that's going to tell me which equation I use. So in this case, how many cups of flour? So I need to use this one because I don't know my cups of flour. So I rewrite my equation from up here. This is that equation, right? Now, however, they've told me how many pancakes I have, so I can substitute that value for the P. I put that in, 1/4 of 64 is the same as dividing 64 by 4, and I get 16. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? Would you be able to use the other formula if they give me the number of bars she has? You need to be comfortable with both. Next page. Now you've got a couple of different tables. Okay? Write an equation for the spring. Pay attention to which table we're using. Pay attention to which equation they want. They said number of sugar for water. So that means I start at the S, go to the W. So I start at the S, so these guys should make you smile. You notice there's a little smiley face again, right? You're seeing that smile a lot on this test, aren't you? Is it important to be able to make these equations? Yes. If you're uncomfortable with this, come see us at seminar so we can get you some help, guys. Or practice on your own at home, but make sure you're comfortable with this. So again, S equals 6, that first number, over 4, times my other variable, W. Again, I have identified my variables. You guys understanding how important it is to identify your variables? I hope so for the test's sake. John?
Just a question for you. How do we sign up for seminar?
Right there. Okay, is 6 over 4 in simplest form?
No.
No. So I simplify. If you want to make a 1.5 turn it into a mixed number, we would not fault you for that one. But just make sure you have simplified in some manner, okay? Part B, write an equation for the fall table. So basically all I'm doing is using the other column. So again, we start at S. S equals, the first number I hit is 4. That goes on top. Second number I hit is 2. That goes on bottom. The other variable is W. It's 4 over 2 in simplest form. No. Let's simplify that to 2. Do I have to redefine my variables? No, I'm using the exact same ones. If I did redefine my variables, would I count it wrong? No. So if you want to be safe, just do it every time. But if you've identified the variables and you're not changing what they mean, you don't have to re-identify them on that page, okay? So the last one, using the fall sugar, so it's telling me this equation, how many cups of sugar will be needed for 23 cups of water. So basically all they're saying is, I'm now telling you what the W is. So I use the rewrite my fall equation, which I got right here. I now substitute for the W, the 23 that they told me right here. So 2 times 23 gave me 46. 46 cups of sugar. Everybody good so far? Ryan, I hope you're writing this down so your page looks empty. I'm literally giving you the answers, Ryan. But I asked you to put that strap away. Okay. I will admit to a little Freudian slip. You guys may have a little more information on this than I had intended you to get. So for here it says, for every one he mows, he charges $10. Okay? So, the key is, what did they start your table at? 2. So my first entry is 10, am I wrong?
Yes.
Yes, because it's 2 lawns. It should be 20. So it should be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, correct? So I apologize, that 60 didn't come out very well. That should be 60, and that one should be 100. Okay? When I do my ordered pairs, because it will say to do the ordered pairs, make sure you put them in parentheses. When I go to the graph, you need to have a title, correct? Very correct. Thank you, Mr. Moore, for making sure I have that. You also need to have your labels. 2 sets of labels on your intervals. And I saw several, at least on my side, where I've been checking. A lot of people are starting at the first interval and then skipping 2 or 3. You can't do that, guys. Whatever you skip to go on your first interval, that skip happens through that entire line. Okay? So if I want to do it by 2s, I don't start till the second one. If I want to do it by 4s, I don't start till the fourth one. Same thing as I'm going up. Make sense? Also, make sure this is my X1. My X1 has to go on the bottom. This is my Y1. The Y1 has to go on the side. Everybody good? Yes, Manny. Because how many rounds were there? So I have 2 lungs that I spent $10 for. Got it? Very important for the test. Gabriel. Don't want the answer, sure. Okay, notice, I used a straight edge for my line, correct? Please use a straight edge. Make sure that you included the arrow at the end of your line. Okay? You don't have the arrow. It's minus 1/2. Why is this important? Because if you actually do a good enough graph, you can use the graph for your answer. Because if it's 19 lawns, all I have to do is go out here to 19. I can draw my line up to where it meets. I'll come over. It's going to be between the 180 and 200 mark. So it's $190. That was the one that you should have written on the back page of your sheet, guys. And the last one, number 5. Okay? On this one, I will be honest, guys, tape diagrams is by far the best way to do this. Your numbers are going to be different. Again, be aware of that maybe the ratios have changed, that maybe the numbers have changed, but something is going to be different. The bottom line is, if I do this, I now know I have 4 boxes of boys who like soccer. That's 80 boys. So how many boxes do I have for that 80? 4 of them, meaning my ratio constant is 20. So now 20 goes in every box. Couple of keys. I surveyed the same number of boys and girls. I had the same number of boxes, 11 for each. That means that my ratio constant from the top will also go to the bottom. Make sure you have labeled your tape diagram. If you're using variables, make sure that you identify your variables. The bottom line is, and this one for some reason causes issues, what is the question being asked on this problem? How many girls like each sport? So if I say 220, have I answered the question? No. That's how many girls were surveyed, but the actual answer is 180 girls like soccer and 40 like basketball. How did I get that? Because I now have 9 boxes of 20, that's 180 for the soccer. 2 boxes of 20 gives me 40 for the basketball. Questions on anything that we have covered today? Depends on which C you're talking about. There were 3 different C's that we had to write down. And a special note for anyone from A1 or A2 listening, we missed a question, so hopefully you were able to get it written down. Yes? Yes. Guys, take this home. This is yours to study. That's why we wanted you to have all of the answers. Aiden. Okay, hold on.